is Frank Everett, and welcome to Frank's Files. We are in Paris. This is the legendary Place Vendôme, home to every fabulous jeweler in the world. It's the epicenter of the jewelry world, and I'm here today to go in and see the Heritage Collection with Van Cleef Arpels, one of the most famous houses in the world, so I can't wait to get inside. Nicholas, nice to see you. Thank you so much. This is a pleasure.
My pleasure.
I can't wait to go upstairs.
Welcome.
Thank you. Okay. God, the staircase is amazing.
Yes, it's
absolutely beautiful. Welcome to Van Cleef Arpels. It is my privilege and honor, truly, to be here today with my friend Nicolas Luchsinger. Nicolas, I'm going to let you tell me exactly what your title is now.
Oh, I'm president of Asia Pacific.
Okay.
Which has nothing to do with the jewelry we speak about today.
The jewels that we have here,
Yeah.
but I've known you for a long time, and I associate you so closely with the Heritage Collection. What exactly is the Heritage Collection?
So we started 15 years ago to present to our clients in the New York store like what we call heritage pieces, or pieces which are second-hand or vintage. So we buy back pieces from our clients, we buy back pieces from dealers, we restore them in our workshop in Paris, and we offer them for sale to our clients.
So these are not museum pieces, these are all vintage things that are for sale.
Absolutely.
Incredible. Honestly, I didn't realize you had so many beautiful vintage things that were available.
Thank you.
And how do you decide, or I guess you have to see what comes along, how do you decide what makes it into the Heritage Collection?
First, it's always like a friendly competition with the museum, because obviously we have our own museum collection, which we lend to museum for exhibition. We have our own exhibition. Mm-hmm. But normally when it's something like a very interesting, very unique, with a very unique provenance, we keep it for the museum. When it's more like everyday jewelry, or it's more like without provenance, but it's very wearable, we keep it for the Heritage Collection.
So the heritage of Van Cleef Arpels began really with the marriage of the two families, is that right?
Yes. In 1896, like Alfred Van Cleef and Ethel Arpels got married. And in 1906, they decided with her brother to open a store on the Place Vendôme. Now we are very lucky at Van Cleef Arpels because we have great archives. So every piece of jewelry which comes out of the salon is signed and numbered. And with the number we are able to find when the piece was made, to who it was sold, when it was sold. So with that, we are able to completely guarantee the authenticity of our pieces.
So, Nicholas, when I think of some of the great icons that Van Cleef is known for, I see some of my favorite things that really speak to what Van Cleef Arpels is about. I see a wonderful Art Deco bracelet. I see a couple of pieces with your patented mystery setting, a wonderful zip necklace here, and this beautiful brooch inspired by nature, this wonderful floral brooch, which I think of Van Cleef really as being so feminine, you know, just in general, the designs. So I'd love it if you could sort of tell me about some of the icons.
No, it's a very feminine brand, and we have like two sources of inspiration, is nature and fashion. So fashion, obviously you see it with the zip necklace, with a tassel, which is exactly from a dress, from a piece of clothes, and nature. So all kind of nature, but most of our jewelry, we have like flowers. We also have like this little animals brooch we are very famous for. So nature is a big inspiration. And
it's just light and whimsical. I just see so much beautiful whimsy.
Absolutely. Van Cleef Arpels, we always want to see the positive side of life, a happy life. So even if you look at the animals, they are very gentle. When you see a lion brooch, you want to pet the lion. It will never be aggressive. If you look at a rose brooch, exactly, you know, a brooch, you can hurt yourself picking your rose, but this one...
But not this one.
Not on this one, exactly.
I see two beautiful pieces here. This sapphire piece, can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, the mystery setting is one of the signature technique from Van Cleef Arpels. We started it in 1933, and it's something called mystery setting because you don't see the mounting. So as you say, the stones are set next to each other. We do it in sapphire, we do it in ruby, we do it in emerald. And they're all done on the upper floor of this building. We have our workshop. Yes, we have the stone setter and the stone cutter. They work side by side, and it's like sliding the stone. You can see the rail at the back, and it's a very incredible technique. Yeah. For this piece, for example, we spoke about archives, and here you have like exactly when it was made. You see the drawing of the piece. the date of the piece. So here you have it, it was sold in 1963. And you have sometimes a little comment from Jacques Arpels. He used to comment on the archives what he thought of the piece when the piece was shown to him before. And this is when he said, as always, very pretty.
As always, very pretty indeed. This is really a gorgeous piece. Also iconic, I think, to the house is the zip necklace.
Yes. The zip is still today one of our best sellers. So the zip is why it's so famous, because it's transformable. So you can wear it as a necklace and as a bracelet as well. It has a great history. I mean, it was the Duchess of Windsor never owned one, but it was her idea. In the late 30s, she asked the Maison to have a zip necklace made for her. At the time, a zip, even in clothes, was not so common. You know, all the dress had like buttons, and the zip was something very avant-garde. Unfortunately, the war started, and we were unable to do it for her. But we realized it in the 50s, and from the 50s on, it became a bestseller. You see, you have the necklace, and then you remove this part. You do the same thing on the other side.
Yeah. So now you're going to make a bracelet.
And you remove this part. Up.
I see.
Part here as well. And then you zip it, and you have your bracelet.
Speaking of the Duchess of Windsor too, this reminds me of the famous brooch that she wore by Van Cleef Arpels, right?
It was a little bit, her was a little bit bigger than this one, but it's exactly the same style. It's what we call a Hawaii, in fact.
Yeah, I love the period in the 40s of the use of these lighter colored stones, the paler yellow and blue sapphires.
It was after World War II. So after World War II, there was like a shortage of fabrics in France. So the elegant French woman had to wear always the same clothes. So she didn't want to attract so much attention on her clothes, but on her jewelry. And it's why we made all these big brooches.
So there was a shortage of fabric, but no shortage of sapphires.
Absolutely.
That's a good. I think that's a good position to be in. And what about this bracelet? You were telling me this was a nice discovery.
Yes, it's a nice discovery. I love this bracelet, but I love it because of its history. And in our archives, we discovered that it used to belong to Barbara Hatton. So you know Barbara Hatton.
Yes,
Barbara Hatton was a huge client of Van Cleef & Arpels, always staying at the Ritz in front of us. There's even a very good story. At the time, she was not feeling well, and she was in a room, and Jacques Arpels went to say hello to her, and arrived in his huge suite facing the Place Vendôme, and all the curtains are closed, and she's in her bed, and he goes closer to the bed, and she's wearing the diamond tiara.
Well, makes you feel better.
Exactly.
Right? Wow, what a selection. The last thing I have to ask you about is this treasure. This is really a little work of art, and I've never really seen anything like it. It's a clock.
It's a clock. It's a clock. So it's different. I mean, most of the jewelry we buy for the heritage collection, we want our clients to wear it.
Yes.
We really think jewelry is to be worn. It's not to be put in a showcase or in a safe. But the only exception is this clock, which I think it's amazing. I mean, it's really this Chinese work of art, because obviously that's a Chinese vase which was transformed into a clock. So the Chinese vase.
So
like,
the turquoise
yes,
part
the turquoise
is
part
old.
is like it's part of like late 18th century,
Yeah.
and then remounted by Van Cleef & Arpels, and a very subtle way you can see the time here.
It's
so
magnificent.
yeah, absolutely. It's
Really
a piece for
special.
you to have on your desk.
I'll take it. Wow, this has really been amazing, Nicolas. Thank you so much for sharing these pieces. I can't wait to look around at all the new collection as well.
I'm
I
happy
see
to
some of
show
the new zipper necklaces are
Absolutely.
as fabulous as the old ones. And this has just been a rare special treat. So thank you very much for allowing us a peek
But
inside
thank you
these
to you
archives.
to come in here, and we're very happy to welcome you on the Place Vendôme.
Great, and lots more to see. Thank you. Thank you.